Hi, Ruben Skies here, and on today's episode, Are You Mine by the Arctic Monkeys. Quick comparison between both. I'll be using the original stems, so let's start with the drums. Okay, this sounds with a lot of attack. It's almost like a punch in front of you. So let's listen to the kick drum. It really sounds like a punch in front of you. And now the snare. So to recreate it, we need a lot of attack. I was watching some tutorials by the person who mixed it, and he says that he uses a lot of parallel compression, and that gives a lot of attack. So let's listen. And my version. Okay, the important part here is not that it sounds exactly the same, it's more that we use the same techniques to achieve a similar sound. My drums. And now Arctic Monkeys drums. Okay, so it sounds quite similar. I think it sounds pretty good, so let's see what's happening here. So all these tracks are only drums. Here's the EQ and nothing crazy, just a regular EQ. Kick drum. Second kick drum. And third kick drum. I used all of these because I feel that when we put them together, we achieve a similar sound. Then I used parallel compression, some parallel reverb, and parallel distortion too. Everything together. First kick drum, just a little of EQ, boosting the lows. The second one, the same, cutting a lot of high frequencies. And the third kick drum, this EQ, with a lot of mid and high. Okay, now for the snare, let's listen to Arctic Monkeys snare. Again, a lot of attack, it sounds pretty loud, similar to the kick drum. Here I used two snares, I think they complement each other pretty well. The first one and the second one. And together, again, nothing pretty crazy, just an EQ cutting some lows. And another one cutting a lot of resonances. The second, the same, some EQ, a multiband compressor, and some highs. Also, this is the one that I used for the parallel compression. Without. With. Gives a little more of attack to a limiter, but as a noise gate. We can cut some of the tail. Everything together sounds like this. Again, Arctic Monkeys drums. Now let's listen to the bass. And my bass. I was watching some videos and the way they recorded was like imitating a distortion. So to get that sound, I made these things. First, the DI of the bass. Then one with the bias effects. Doing this. It gives a little more of distortion. And then I also used this. Okay, here it sounds a lot like the Arctic Monkeys bass. Mine, them. But it was missing something, so I used the bias effects. With and without. Okay, everything together.
Lifetime's unfair, we're not someone misbehaving for days. Great escape, lost track of time.
Sounds pretty similar. Arctic Monkey.
Keep imagining meeting wished away. Entire lifetime's unfair, we're not someone misbehaving.
Now we have the guitars. For the guitars, they also used a preamp. I think that's why it sounds like a little without body. It has some reverb, so some parallel reverb, some distortion, or like a fuzz. The one I made sounds with a little more of body. It doesn't sound exactly the same. So everything together, first all of Arctic Monkeys and then mine. So the truth is that it sounds pretty similar. So let's see what's going on with the guitars. Use the bias effects with these settings. And then a little of parallel distortion. To make it a little more warm. And the EQ, just cutting some lows and some highs. And last but not least, the voice. The original a cappella.
I guess what I'm trying to say is
We can already listen that it has like a slap delay, some reverb, and that's everything. Everything together sounds like this.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I need the.
And here's my version.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I need to deep and keep in mind and meet and wish to
way.
Okay, let's see the effects channel. Okay, we have the voice only,
I guess what I'm trying to say is I need.
then the slap delay,
I guess what I'm trying to say.
and then some parallel distortion.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I need to deep and keep in mind.
A normal EQ, cutting some lows. I usually add some highs, but these vocals by Alex don't have a lot of high frequencies. So I try to match as much as possible. Here's the slap delay. And here's a limiter and a multiband compressor. Now I just got some frequencies, some nasal frequencies. And this for more clarity. The last limiter. So a quick comparison between their version and mine. That was everything for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching the video, and you can also listen to my music, the link's in the description. See you later!